The US dollar has been devalued through inflation by over 90% in the last 50 years.
So as many of you know, we've had a bit of a disagreement with the current administration about how cryptocurrencies should be regulated. And the issue has been that in the absence of laws being passed, that the U.S. cryptocurrency industry has to deal with regulation by enforcement. And of course, the enforcement, regardless of the outcome in the courts, is tone deaf and continues to carry out a same policy, which has cost tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of American jobs, as well as the loss of $1 trillion plus industry. In my own personal experience forming Ethereum in Switzerland, since Ethereum was founded there, 1,290 businesses have followed for a total market value of over $380 billion. Those, plus the businesses in Singapore, plus the businesses in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, just to mention 3 jurisdictions, probably would be more than 3,000 firms, of which the majority probably would have domiciled in the United States had our crypto policy been reasonable.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. Sonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told told his members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar, because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. And we can't let that happen. And too many countries now are fighting to get off the dollar.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction. So therefore, they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, we know the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin and crypto pulling back, guys. We know why. We have options, but we know on the weekend we're the only game in town. So don't miss the bounce. We know we don't have a lot of liquidity, but we're definitely going to bounce going from Saturday into Sunday. And then we know CME opens. And then right now, guys, we have the stock market. Dow slightly up, S&P and NASDAQ flat. Now we have Joseph Lubin. Says the SEC doesn't want Ethereum to transform banking landscape. And guys, who's been behind Ethereum and consensus? That's right, the central banks. And JP Morgan has had their hands all over Ethereum and consensus from the beginning. So we know this is nothing but the Hegelian dialectic, and we know the SEC wants to move us to the fourth industrial revolution, but first they have to create the two sides. And Gary Gensler has just been kicking this can down the road, so the emerging markets rise first, and America has to follow. Remember, America is the last free nation. A lot of things that come with the fourth industrial revolution that people would not stand for it if they could stand on their own 2 feet. That's the reason why they want to bring Americans to their knees. And remember, the Crypto Teacher tells you. Now, don't forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates, which are slightly up. We have the dollar, which is slightly up. We have volume and crypto down. We have Tether and USDC. And we have Deutsche Bank, of all banks, says its solvency risk when it comes to Tether could wreak havoc on the crypto industry. And we know the Tether movie is coming. I've been telling you for a few years the Ethereum movie is coming, and we clearly see that now. And we definitely know DeFi is the new banking. And when it comes to Tether, we've seen the United States government right behind these stable coins also from the beginning, circumventing the system using stable coins. So we know they want to control. Tether will just fall back in the hands of the central banks. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $458 billion. This repo will be dwindling down to zero. But remember, guys, the plan. The next move is to move into bond bail-ins to save these clearinghouses. Remember what Jerome Powell stated. He was going to slow up QT. And we know why. Because it's an election year, they want a slow leak before they start officially pushing this rug. And we know going towards the end of the year, especially the start of next year, the emerging markets are going to start flipping that switch. But remember, guys, this is a plan. It's going to take 3 to 5 years for it to be built out. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, we have the spot Bitcoin ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale all down. Now, we have Grayscale parent company, Digital Currency Group, reports a $229 million revenue for first quarter. And we see the DCG has moved behind the curtain once more. No one talks about them, but that is a lot of revenue. And we're seeing big money revenues for these companies that barely even have any employees. We have Coinbase with only about 3,500 employees. Yes, guys, it sounds unbelievable, but remember, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. You can't make this stuff up. Technology is clearly taking a lot of jobs. Well, we know the mainstream media is going to sell you that it's creating a lot of jobs. And we know it's definitely not in the environment that we're in right now. They're taking you from Yahweh's natural environment and moving you over to an artificial environment. And that's the reason why, guys, my people perish from the lack of knowledge, because they reject it. That is the key. The knowledge is there, it's right at your fingertips, but they reject it. They stay distracted on things that don't matter. And that's the reason why the sheep stay falling for the devil's tricks. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have Wisdom Tree Crypto Business goes live in New York. And it's all about collecting these fees. Right now, these crypto exchanges are collecting more fees than actually these banks if you look at the actual statistics. Remember, exchanges are nothing but banks. Now we have lending first quarter loans top record $690 million as lending market snaps back. And the same products that are offered in the legacy market are going to be offered in crypto. It's just going to be done digitally. And by everything being tokenized and put on blockchain, is going to transform loans. And lastly, we have Ripple and XRP Labs join Digital Asset Recovery Protocol DEREC Alliance. Now, unfortunately, with recovery, they're going to need a backdoor. And that definitely should worry everyone when we know the cyber war is about to begin. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And like Charles Hoskinson stated, all this technology is in the emerging markets. And guys, we know why. Because the fourth industrial revolution rises with the BRICS nations. And we have Binance and Kucoin get registration with India's Financial Intelligence Unit. And I don't care whether you're looking at Cardano, I don't care whether you're looking at Ripple, XLM, all these major projects are over in the emerging markets. And we have India's GDP is ridiculous. And you're talking about billions of people, just like China, coming from poverty to the middle class. But they will be controlled through technology. But when you're coming from nothing, you're going to accept anything. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.